Well, all right. Back at it again. Another day, another bridge. Hopefully, I got the audio figured out this time. I got that phone call yesterday and kicked me back to the phone microphone, but you know how we do it, raw and uncut, unedited. Uh, so I put it in airplane mode today. Different view of the bar. Hopefully, everyone appreciates that. Bar is the star of the show. What I got? I got today. We haven't got to the bridge yet. This might go on for a little bit. I got a story. I just get right into it. We'll get there. It'll be fine. We'll get to the bridge in a minute. So, today I had an interesting day, and I don't know how many people that are watching this or sharing it or whatever have ever done the LTL thing or whatnot. And I have that reefer back there, and I had 6 drops and 1 pick today. And the front half of the trailer basically was the big one. There was 1 big drop, and it's a big old produce warehouse, whatever, and I just bump a dock and hang out. But the first couple, or first 4, I guess, were little ones. I got a lift gate, I got the electric pallet jack, and I can just deliver them in the middle of the night, basically, early morning. So I do those first, and then I go to the big one, and then I do my pickup and head home like I am right now. It turned into a long day. Uh, so, anyways, I go do my first ones. I get to my, I guess it would be 1, 2, 3, fourth. Yeah, fourth out of the 5 before the big one. And I go to grab some pallets off, and they got stickers, right? You know, they got the little, they call it the license plate, the scanner sticker. And I notice it looks awfully, it just don't look right for where I'm at. It just doesn't look like, I'm pretty familiar with most of the places I'll go. I was like, oh man. So I pull it off. I'm like, it just doesn't look like a big enough pallet. And I told the receiver, hey, hang on a second, man. I don't know. Let me take a look in the trailer. I was all right. And I get a little deeper in, and I don't load it. Like the guys in our dock, on our warehouse on the dock, load it. So get in there, and there's one more pallet for the stop I had just left, which is bad. So I shorted them, and not everyone counts it. In the middle of the night, you kind of do what we call a dark drop, and then they just call it in if they were shorted or damaged or whatever, which is awesome, right? Because you get to keep moving. But it's bad. It's bad if you don't actually give them what they, their order or their product. So that's bad. I was like, oh, but even worse, like I said, I haven't checked in with anyone all day. I've just been leaving stuff. I was like, I wonder if the pallet that I feel like I'm missing for this place I'm currently at, I accidentally gave to the last place because the warehouse didn't load it in sequence, which happens, but that's not a good thing, right? I told where I was at there, and it was in Berkeley. I was like, hey, listen, give me a couple minutes to try to figure this out. I'll be back, because it wasn't too far away. So I roll down the road, and I got to go back to that last stop anyways, because I have their stuff. Like, I know it's their stuff, and I just straight up missed it. So I give them theirs. I'm like, hey, did you happen to get like a lot of extra things that aren't yours? They go, no. I was like, are you sure? Because now I'm short. Like, I have an extra one for you, and I'm short one for the next one. And they took me back to their big cooler, walked around with me and everything. They're like, oh man, like everything you left here was the right stuff. We were just short stuff because obviously you didn't drop it. I was like, all right, okay. Back in the truck, kind of running low on time at this point, but it's whatever. And I go back to the place I was at in Berkeley. I go, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I don't have, like, sorry. Like, so then they want to check it at that point. They want to go through the bills line by line and call it into the buyer, and buyer going to call broker and all that fun stuff. And they're not going to sign nothing because now they know they're not getting everything. So I've lost my drop and go privileges. It was all right. I was there about 45 minutes, like whatever. They did what they had to do. They ended up signing. They got their credits or whatever they're from the office. The point of my story is, when I first realized it was short, I was really, really tempted to just not say nothing, because I would have got away with it and it would have got figured out later and I would have been on my way. There's that split second where I was like, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave, because they'll sign whatever if I don't point it out. Then later they'll figure it out. But that'd probably come back and bite me. And even if it didn't, like, I don't know, it's just a bad practice, if that makes sense. And I don't know. I feel like honesty most of the time is kind of the best policy, because I ended up getting a call from sales, the sales rep, and I didn't have to like remember a lie or fabricate. I just told him exactly what happened. I was like, oh man, sorry. I mean, all's well that ends well. The stuff for Berkeley just wasn't on my trailer. I don't know. Maybe they loaded it on a different trailer. Maybe the thing's in LA by now. Maybe no one ever built that pallet. I really couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? Sorry, man. This is what I did. I crossed my T's, whatever. I tried to make it right, figure it out. So that's where I'm at. He says, all right, well, thanks for doing what you could. We'll just, whatever. We can't charge him for something we didn't drop. So cool. Anyway, so I got to the big one. Ended up waiting for almost 2 hours for a door anyway. So turns out I would have been in a big old rush to sit and wait. And then I'd have that swinging over my mind that it was going to pop up somewhere. And they would have been like, well, the hell are you doing out there, man? You know, these businesses are kind of trusting you with these dock drops, and you're just kind of fucking it all up. So, moral of the story is, sometimes you get that little inner voice. You know the right damn thing to do. Just do the right damn thing, right? I don't know. It's worked so far for me, and then you don't have that weird feeling in the back of your mind or the pit of your stomach where you know you cheated or you cut a corner or whatever, and you might get away with it, but you might not. And bottom line is, there's a lot of trust involved between me and our customers, and you kind of build that relationship, and you don't want to burn that for the company's sake and just for mine personally, because now if I tell them, hey, you just didn't get it, they believe me. They don't just think I'm lying or screwing them or stealing from them or selling it off the back of the trailer or whatever, which I wouldn't do, but you gotta put your money where your mouth is, whatever. Anyway, that was my Friday. So we're about 13 hours into the day, probably about an hour and a half from parking. So that's that local life. You get to do that kind of thing. And it's Friday, and I ain't got a load for tomorrow, so it's all good. Anyway, there's a little bit of trucking story of how my day went. And it does bring me back to yesterday, where I was like, this is going too well. Everything is way too smooth. There's got to be a hurdle or a speed bump, and hopefully that was it, because this wasn't that bad a one. So hopefully that's it. I'm back even with the world and start fresh. Probably Monday. I don't think I got a Sunday one either. And start fresh Monday on an even keel, not being in debt to karma. So all right. Anyway, this is a long one. If you're still with me, thank you. Hit buttons, whatnot. Be safe. Have an awesome weekend. Hope you're doing something fun with it. If you're on the road, that's cool too. Make that money, and I'll catch you later.